My name is Ondřej Kozbach. I work at the Technology Agency of the Czech Republic. I'm the contact person for the Biodiverzitu Plus calls, and especially for this new one and upcoming Biodiverzitu Plus call titled Biodiv Connect. Let's get into the content of the presentation and into the content that I want to present for you. As you have already seen and heard during the info day and during this session from Biodiverzitu Plus directly, there are of course topics in the call. I will not go into the focus of the call. I will focus more on the, let's say, rules and requirements for the Czech applicants. And you all know what the focus, what is the focus of the call and what the topics are. So these are the topics included here and listed here. I will not really go into the details. You can also all see the international website of Biodiverzitu Plus and see and read more details about these topics. However, what I want to tell you about these topics is that the Czech applicants can choose freely among these topics, and you can combine them in the project proposal at your free will. So there's like no limitation in this regard. Also, where you have no limitation at all is the choose and the selection of the studied environments or realms, let's say. So you can focus on water environments, terrestrial environments, etc., at your free will, basically. And what I would also mention here is one general and quite important rule in this regard is that the result or results of the projects on the Czech part have to be applicable and have to be applicable in the environment of the Czech Republic. So this is quite important to have in mind when you are creating the project and creating or thinking about the results that you would like to include in the project. Next slide, regarding the eligible applicants of the call for the Czech applicants. That means the applicants can be either a research organization or an enterprise. Of course, there's also a note on to that. If there is an applicant which is not a research organization, they shall choose an enterprise as the type of applicant. So, for example, if you would be an organizational part of the state or some other type of applicants listed here, for example, a physical person, etc., or some NGOs, etc. Please choose the type of enterprise that would fit this applicant in the Czech application process and in the documents that we would require from you. Regarding the timing and the timeline, this is basically quite the same as the timeline for the international call altogether. So as you all know, the international call was launched 2 days ago on the 9th of September, and the deadline for receiving the pre-proposals is on the 7th of November 2025. Please also know that there's a time limitation for that. You have to submit these proposals until the 12 a.m. Also, regarding the deadline for sending the documentation that we require from you as Technology Agency of the Czech Republic, the deadline is completely the same as for the deadline of sending the proposals. Regarding the possible, of course, deadline for sending the full proposals, in case your project would be invited into the second round, basically, and would go through the first round of evaluation. The deadline is on the 14th of April 2026, also 12 a.m. And if, of course, your project would be successful during the whole call process, the approximate date or approximate month where you would know that your project was successful or not would be September 2026. Regarding the possible start of the projects, that would be, of course, starting with this December 2026 and ending with 1st of April 2027. In the next slide, let's say allocation and funding support from our agency for the Czech applicants here. The overall allocation and the overall funding that we have allocated to this international call is 1 million euros. Regarding the maximum funding rate or maximum funding support per one project, and that means only the Czech part of the project, of course, for the Czech applicants, is 170,000 euros. And the maximum funding rate per project for Czech applicants is 80%, as this project has been or is a part of the Sigma program, where such a funding intensity is set. Also, quite an important note: if you would plan the start of the project in December 2026, please note that you are required to include all the eligible costs for the year 2026 into the eligible cost for year 2027. So that means if you would start a project in December 2026, you would have no costs in this year, and you would move all these costs into year 2027. Let's go to the next slide, and that would be the required documentation that we would require from you to submit to us and to have everything in order. So for the first one would be the affidavit for each applicant. I have to make a little bit of a distinction here. There are two types of applicants for a Czech part of the project. There's the main applicant and additional applicant, let's say. And with regards to every single applicant has to submit this affidavit for the applicant, let's say, sworn statement. The main applicant then has to also submit the TACR application form, which is an Excel document where you will basically include all the identification data of the project, the financial plan, the international partners, etc., also the results that you would plan in the project. So that's something that's only submitted by the main applicant of the project. Regarding the next documentations which have to be submitted, that would be the financial statements for years 2021, 2022, and 2023. You have to submit these statements only if those are not already published in the public administration, let's say. So usually these financial statements are already published, and you do not really have to send them exclusively to us. The next document which could be relevant for you is the sworn statement about the consortium. That means only the Czech consortium. This statement or affidavit is submitted only by the main applicant in case there's a Czech enterprise being part of the Czech part of the project. So unless you are if you are, for example, only a research organization participating on behalf of the Czech Republic in a project, you do not have to send this sworn statement. And last but not least, in case you would plan the results of the type NMET or patent, you have to send documentation to these projects, to these types of results. You will find, of course, which is important to mention, you will find all these documents, relevant documents, and the documents that you have to send to us on the Touch website. You can find it there to download and to fill out, of course. And just to give you a little bit more instructions on how to send them, how to send these documents, you shall send these documents from your data box to the Thatcher data box, and you have to put the aforementioned sentence or aforementioned title into the, let's say, subject of the message for us to identify it correctly. And of course, if you would need any more information, there are few useful links, of course. One would be, of course, the website of the ACR, where you have all, as I mentioned, all the important documents. Also, of course, the, let's say, tender documentation on behalf of our agency, where you have all the national rules and requirements, etc., etc. So you can find it there. So definitely, please check this. I believe that you will find most of the answers for your questions on our website and in our documents. Then, of course, which has been already mentioned quite a lot of times during the info session, check the website of the Biodiversitu Plus partnership. There's, of course, the call text or call documents, or whatever you want to call it, with the call text and all the descriptions of the topics, of the scope of the call, and of the, let's say, transnational eligibility criteria for all the projects. So that's very important to see as well. And of course, what's could be also useful for you is the partner search website, where you can indicate your research idea, let's say, and research project, and you can share it with other interested participants, and they could contact you then based on this, and you can possibly form a project consortium after such an interaction on this website. Also, what I didn't mention is that in terms of required documentation, we do not require for you to send us the pre-proposal or full proposal, which you will, of course, submit through the EPSS portal, which is the submission system for Biodiversitu Plus. You do not have to send that because we have the access ourselves, and once you submit that on the EPSS portal, we are able to then download it and access it, so you don't have to send it together with the required documentation. And of course, if you would have any other questions or queries, please do not hesitate to contact me either via email or via telephone number. It's completely up to you. I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Yes, as I mentioned, please feel free to do that in case you would have any questions which we will not answer here. And then just very briefly, I guess that most of you already know the basic information about how the, let's say, multilateral calls work. Basically, what's quite important to mention and what's quite important to have in mind is that, as it was already mentioned during the info day before, you or the project which is submitted into the international call has to, of course, fulfill the international rules and international eligibility criteria of the call. And also, what's very important is that the respective partners in the international project have to fulfill, of course, the rules and requirements of their national funding organizations. So, of course, if there are project partners from different countries, each one of them has to fulfill the rules of their funding agency on the national level. Of course, there's like no evaluation made on national level. The evaluation is only made on the international level and via the evaluation committee for each call in Biodiversitu Plus. And of course, what has been also mentioned quite a bit, in case you would want to introduce some partners which do not have their funding organizations involved in this call, they can be involved via self-financed partners. Let's say that's the term for it, and they can be included in the project. with their own financing or possibly in kind as well. And in case you would be interested in any more funding from technology agency of the Czech Republic, just very brief and quick overview of what we already have, what we already can offer to you as well. These are the Eranet co-funds on the left in the red, with the red color. These are multilateral schemes which are already ending basically, and none of them are active. However, where we are still active are the European partnerships, including Biodiverzitu Plus. So we are also involved in European partnerships, Water for All, driving urban transitions and clear energy transition. And with some new and following schemes that we have on the list right now, you can see here, these are 3 partnerships, and some of them are not open yet, but will be open quite soon. So keep looking for these opportunities. For example, in terms of in terms of topical closeness, let's say, I think that there will be an interest in the forest and forestry for sustainable future partnership, which could be interesting for some of you. And of course, in case you would have any other interest in these calls, there will be more information in due time on our website. All right, so this was my presentation. I tried to cover hopefully the most important aspects of this call, and I hope that I was clear, hopefully. And of course, this is the space for your questions. So in case you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. This is the space for it. I can see a question in the chat, which is, what is the common practice for covering the remaining 20% of project co-funding? Yes, common practice is, I would say, that the research organizations or enterprises use either institutional financing or funding that they have available, or in terms of enterprises, they can use basically, I suppose, any other source of funding in terms of revenue, etc., etc. However, what's important to mention, you shall not use any other funding, for example, which has been, of course, provided for some other projects, for example. That's not allowed. So this would be the basic premise, and I believe that we have also this information included in our tender documentation. So you shall be able to find it there. Okay, thank you. Any other question about requirements for the principal investigator? Is it an issue if they don't have a PhD? Is seniority prioritized over background? There's no such limitation on our side. We do not really, let's say, care who is the principal investigator in this regard. We do not have any limitations. However, just please note that the proposal will be, of course, evaluated on the international level, and they might look into the, let's say, scientific background and expertise and experience of the PI. So that's, of course, something that could be evaluated in a way. Another question: Can more than one Czech institute apply for the same project together, and it's the overall budget per project still the same? Okay, if I understand the question, then yes, you can apply together for let's say the Czech part of the project. So 2 institutes would apply together for the same project, and the overall budget per project would still be the same, as there will be 2 applicants in the project proposal, and basically the overall budget per project would still be the same, as it would only concern with 1 project and not 2 of them. Hope I understood the question well. If not, then please get back to me. Another comment. I would have 2 questions, please. Within the awarded project, can partners transfer funds from one national funding organization to partner from different country, e.g. can funding from e.g. German can just speak for regarding the first questions, whether the transfer of the funds from one national funding organization to partner from different country can be used. No, in principle, no. However, what can be done is a use of subcontracting. So you can possibly transfer some funds from your, let's say, from your awarded project to some partners from, for example, from other countries. However, if there's a funding from German agency to a German partner, they cannot transfer these funds to support or use it for work of the Czech partner. The Czech partner in the project should ask for the funding from technology agencies of the Czech Republic. And the second question: do all or just some results need to be applicable for the environment of the Czech Republic? Yes, all of the results which are included in the application of the Czech applicant shall be applicable for the environment of the Czech Republic. Another question: what are the expected outputs of the project? Do we have to apply results of papers are enough? You can check the list of the outputs of the project which are eligible, basically, in our tender documentation or on our website. It's all there. There is no limitation in terms of which types of results you choose. However, if you would choose the type of result O, which is ostatní, which means it's like others, this cannot be a standalone result, and you have to accompany this result with at least one different output, or with an output of type souhrn, which is like a summary science report. So this is the only rule in this regard, and of course the result shall be applied and shall be applicable, and of course in the environment of Czech Republic. Thank you for the questions. Hope I answered all of them. In case you have any more, please feel free to ask. I'm still here at least for a couple of minutes, so do not hesitate to use this space. In case there are none, there's one. Of course, you can call me whenever possible. If I don't accept the call, then I'm probably in some meeting. But of course, please call me. No problem at all. And of course, if there would be like any issues that you would encounter with any of our documents or something like that, please do not hesitate to reach out to me as soon as possible, so that we can resolve the problem. Okay, I suppose that there are no additional questions. Then, as I already mentioned, please do not hesitate to reach me via email or via phone. It's completely up to you. I will be happy to help, of course. I would like to thank you for attending this national session. I hope that it was comprehensive and yeah, that I included everything that was basically needed. So thank you very much. Have a great day, and I wish you the best of luck with your Biodiversa Plus proposals.